When I was a teenager, me and my friends used to quite frequently go to abandoned buildings of different sorts. This hobby kinda got worn out for me personally, but when I was at my first or second year of university, I noticed a weird, not too big, abandoned building very close to my uni. My uni is located pretty much downtown. The place we are talking about is very crowded and filled with elite property, stores, and historical buildings. So it was weird seeing the building standing weirdly in some sort of a yard between other buildings. So I grabbed my friends, there were 4 of us, and we decided to check it out. We came there late at night so there would not be more eyes than necessary. It also was winter. We grabbed our tools and broke a lock to one of the entrances, but it was a dead-endish small room. It was pretty creepy, with a wheelchair standing there. We then found another door to the building. It was locked more heavily. We could not break the lock itself, so we somehow managed to make a big hole in the door so everyone could just climb in there. It was very loud obviously, so after we've done it, we decided to wait a bit before going in case someone called the cops on us. After an hour spent at the nearby McDonald's, we, proudly with how we handled that super locked door that seemed to haven't been opened for years, decided to go in. The building felt empty and damaged. There was not much stuff there beside concrete walls and a lot of trash which we thought was old. There was no light in there at all, every window was locked too. It's creepy to think back on this decision, but the first thing that we decided to do is to go to the attic, all of us. It was more of the same, a lot of trash, some graffitis, and generally nothing too interesting. Then we decided to come back to the floor we started from and check it out properly. While we were for some reason I guess being kinda creeped out from the atmosphere just standing in the corridor which allowed to overview 2 big halls, both of them were filled with trash, one of us decided to go across the hall. We could see him clearly with a flashlight to check out some sort of shack that was located in those piles of trash in the end of the hall. He looked inside and then rushed back to us very concerned. He said that there is a body inside. We all thought it was a dead person because the building was locked. No way in hell someone was living there somehow. We felt like someone died and somehow nobody cared. This discussion could not be continued because we then actually saw someone coming at us, a mere silhouette. We lost our minds from this shit and we rushed into our door hole, which was not perfect for anyone to climb through it in such a rush. While we were making it out, this person shouted something angry at us with a rather unsettling voice, and was mad at us for breaking the door. We were scared because of how unexpected that was. We were 100% there could not be anyone in a locked abandoned building that was out of use for years and partially damaged. We never thought to ourselves that maybe it was not the city that locked it, but someone managed to privatize the locks. The guy himself was creepy too, living in this absolutely dark, full of trash abandoned private hospital. My aunt and uncle's house was in a small desert town. They had about 4 acres of land and a good amount of space between neighbors. On the back of their property there was a fenced-in area with a large shed and an old salvaged U-Haul moving truck. I was visiting for a couple weeks one summer. My little cousin and I were about 10 and 12 at the time. One morning, we were roaming the property by ourselves. The adults were all out running errands. We ended up walking between the fence and the old moving truck. We were on the passenger side of the truck, walking from the back towards the front. All of a sudden my cousin just froze. The hairs on the back of my neck stood instantly. He didn't make a noise, and just pointed at the side mirror. In the reflection, we could see a man sitting in the driver's seat. His face was caked in dirt and blood. He was moving around quickly, and at one point he ducked out of our view. We instantly turned and sprinted back to the house. We locked all the doors and called the cops and family. We were freaking out, running from room to room, looking out the windows, brandishing baseball bats. The police and family showed up after about 15 to 20 minutes. They searched all over, but never found the man. They found the fence was bent down where he must have climbed over it. There was blood and dirt smeared all over the driver's seat of the truck. He must have been trying to steal it, because the ignition wires were pulled out like he was trying to hotwire it. No explanation for the blood. Nothing happened after that. My cousin and I had nightmares for the next few nights. While I was living and studying in the capital of my country, I had a small rented basement of a 1917 built house, next to a nightclub. I was preparing to go to sleep quite early since I had class at 8 a.m. the next day. Right before I fell asleep I remembered that I forgot to lock the door, but since the city I lived in was generally quite safe and the only way to get to the entrance of my place was past a front gate, all around to the other side of the house and down some stairs, I didn't think much of it and proceeded to fall asleep. Skip forward to the middle of the night, I wake up and feel someone or something slowly pulling my blanket off me. In a confused state I extend my hand and feel a hairy, male arm under my fingers. My first thought was, oh, this is probably my drunk flatmate, but then I remembered that he is at his girlfriend's place on the other side of town. In pitch black I jump from my bed, rush to the light switch, and as I turn it on, I find a stranger, around my age student, standing in his underwear by my bed, with his underwear clearly wet from piss. As I am escorting him out he goes into the bathroom and locks himself inside. I hear him turn on the shower and proceed to knock on the door saying, "Hey man, if you don't leave right now, I'm calling the cops," to which he replies, "I'm not afraid of the police." Well, that's just perfect, isn't it? A few minutes pass and he steps out of the bathroom butt naked, with my flatmate's towel around his waist, looks at me looking kind of content and says, "Hey, did you see they got a shower here?" At that point I am fuming. Who's got a shower, asshole? This is my house, you're a total stranger and you broke into my place. Suddenly an expression of complete fear appears on his face. Oh my God, what have I done? Jesus Christ, he starts exclaiming as he is very awkwardly trying to get dressed in the hallway. Then I managed to get him out of the house. I even called one of his friends from my phone to come pick him up at the club. Turns out he's from a completely other town and came to party to the capital, got kicked out of the club for starting a fight and somehow managed to get into my place. To this day I have no idea what he was on, or how the hell he managed to find my apartment, as it is quite hidden from the street.